Hello again, and welcome back to Illegally Cited. This is Jesse here, aka BGFH, and I am back for another classic gaming collection. Just going to do a little bit of a marathon here, mini marathon as it were. We're going to be taking a look at a classic. This one's mainly NES and Game Boy collection, but we're going to take a look at a classic Konami collection, and if the music hadn't given it away, the Castlevania Anniversary Collection. Konami actually released a couple of these on all kinds of different platforms, all your modern systems, your PC, Switch, Xbox One, PS4, and having this on the Switch in portable form, I gotta admit would be kind of cool, but we're taking a look at the PC version, picked it up on sale a while back and just hadn't gotten around to it. They also have a Contra collection, which I may also take a look at some point in the future. Got your title screen here, but as it's an anniversary collection, oh man, this music is so good. This is a collection that I think a lot of classic gamers are gonna like, because especially you can have it on portable form or whatever of your platform of choice. You know, people don't keep their, they have the NES Classic, the SNES Classic, and yes, I think, was it Castlevania 1 is on the original NES Classic? I know Castlevania 4 is on the Super Nintendo Classic, but not all of them, same with Contra. I don't know that all of them are on there, so, and people don't have these systems hooked up to their TVs. Especially if they have really original systems that don't have, HDMI. They don't have all the equipment to hook that up to a modern television. So, nice to have these collections. So we have Castlevania. We have Castlevania 2 Simon's Quest. I'll talk about that one when we play it a little. Castlevania 3 Dracula's Curse. Ooh, all these games are so hard. Super Castlevania 4. Castlevania Adventure. We got some Game Boy games here. And we got Castlevania 2 for Game Boy. We have Castlevania Bloodlines, which I lied, there is a Genesis version, a Genesis game on here. And then we have Kid Dracula, which I have never played before. I've heard of it. It's either, I don't know if it's an NES game or just a Famicom game. I don't even know if that ever came out here. I looked at it for about 5 seconds just to see. I'm like, no, I don't recognize this at all. But we'll take a peek. You see all the text on all of these. You can kind of pause the video if you want to read the blurbs about them. But it just gives a little bit of an overview of all of these titles. Then you have the bonus book. The Contra thing has this too, but if I go in here, I can use my bumpers using the Xbox One controller here. We got a table of contents. But, we have all these different pages of art and all kinds of stuff. I haven't even really looked through here all that much, but like I said, you can kind of page through, and then if I want to zoom in, I can hit X, and then I can use my right analog stick to, okay, I can use my left one too, but yeah, I can use my analog sticks to kind of zoom in, and I think, yeah, I can actually zoom in even further. So we got some bunch of Japanese there. We got Castlevania Adventure for Game Boy. Got the box art and everything, so you can kind of see all of that stuff. So we will go back to small, and there's your book. Page through all that, and then you have your bonus JP version. So all the games are pretty much all of them that we've got here. If I go in here, now we have all of these similar games in their Japanese form, which you're thinking, okay, well, they're pretty much the same games. Yes and no. Remember, a lot of these games came out on the Famicom, and we had the NES. Well, the hardware in that was a little bit different, so you notice that this is the same song that you heard on the other menu, but it sounds a little bit different because the Famicom actually had another, I forget the details, but it basically had a better sound chip in it. And games would come out in Japan first, and they would release it for the Famicom. And then, we would get the NES version, which they would have to kind of strip down the audio a little bit. Like, this song especially sounds really, really cool. So, if I go back, there's your NES version. And then if I hit A, oops, nope, I'm gonna, oh wait, I gotta go. So it's a little bit of a different song, but you can kind of tell, there's more layers to it. It just sounds like a meteor music a little bit. So we got our Castlevania, we've got a Castlevania Game Boy or something there, we've got Super Castlevania 4, another Game Boy one. Okay, so it looks like we have pretty much most, if not all of them. Genesis, do we have? Yeah, see, I can't read Japanese, so... Oh, okay. Yeah, so it tells the year. So we got a few different bonuses there, but let's just go through. I'll show you. I'll go through a little bit of all of the NES ones, and then I'll just jump into a couple of the Japanese ones so you can kind of hear some of the musical differences. And there are gameplay differences, which I don't know all that much. I know some games were easier in the Japanese versions, and some games were harder. It just depends on the publisher, the developer. So we can start a game where we can watch replay, which I thought it was a thing where they just had a replay recorded, but apparently not, because if I hit A, it just doesn't do anything. So I guess maybe if I beat the game or something, it will record a playthrough. I don't quite understand how that works, but let's just, here we go, NES Castlevania. And I should mention, like I said, this game is so known for its music, so you're going to hear a lot of catchy music that's going to get stuck in your head. Guaranteed. So here we go, first level of Castlevania. In addition to great music, the gameplay is fun. However, these games are immensely challenging. These games are hard as hell. Some of the hardest on the NES. And there's one feature in particular that makes this thing really difficult. And you'll see momentarily. So we're going to kill these guys as they keep coming forward. Low vision wise, I find the first Castlevania is a little bit hard because like you have the light enemies, the light background. You know, some of the levels look better than others, but like you could tell this was an early NES game. You know, even the bricks there, the kind of the colored bricks, they're okay, but yeah, see, I get bounced back. So jump up there. But yeah, so the main thing that really makes this game difficult is anytime you get hit, you get bounced back. And especially as more levels go on, there are pits everywhere, and if the enemy doesn't kill you, the pit damn sure will. So you're usually going to get bounced in whatever is the most unfortunate direction that you could be hit in, because the game is always going to favor itself and is going to screw you over. You watch the other thing, it's kind of funny. The Angry Video Game Nerd did a kind of a retrospective on Castlevania and talked a lot about that too. And I mean, like I said, it's fair criticism because you got these guys coming out of the water. You can jump over there, and these guys are random, so they could just jump out and like at some point just go, oh yeah, we're just going to bounce you back into the water. I've gotten fortunate so far. We're going to jump up here. Okay, get hit by the bat. You see how we just got shoved back? And the movement is, especially in the early games, is really stiff. I cannot whip in any other direction except forward. I can't whip diagonal, I can crouch and whip, but I can't whip up. There are sub-weapons like holy water and crosses and different things like that. But generally speaking, no, it's... So we got our first boss here, and I don't even remember how to beat this. Got this big bat here. Okay, so we got holy water. If I can get him to swoop down. See, holy water doesn't do a hell of a lot of good because he's an airborne enemy. I would rather have another better weapon. I'm probably going to die here. But again, I just want to show you a little bit of the games, so I'm so going to die. And you get 3 lives. And, okay, I start here. But if I die 3 times, you can continue, but then you're always going to start at the beginning of the level. So As these levels get longer, they get harder. It can be brutal. So we got that. And like I said, the movement is really stiff. I don't even remember how I'm supposed to beat this guy. Because when I jump up and whip, by the time I can, by the time I react, he just kind of... it's been ages. I've only played the first Castlevania game maybe once or twice in my life. So... it's not very... I don't have a lot... I mean, I love the music. I've heard all of the music for it. But I've watched somebody else play it here and there, but I have not really played it. So I suck at Castlevania. I can hit the left trigger. We got a bunch of options for all these games, and the text is really nice. Now, thankfully, you can save and load, so you can basically do save states, which I know some people say it's not right because you're not playing it the way the game was intended to be played. Well, screw it. It's a modern re-release. Not everyone has... can sit in a chair and play games for 20 hours a day. So, you know what? I'm going to make use of the save feature. We got a manual. We got display settings, which we could make it widescreen and make it look ugly. But we're going to play it in its original form. Frames. So, yeah, I can put frames on it if I want to. So, yeah, we could put no frames, or we could put that frame in there. Which, whatever works. We'll keep it black for now. Controls, we can customize those. And game reset and exit. So let's go back. Castlevania 2. Now this one I remember. So the early Castlevania games were all pretty much linear games. They were, you run to the right, you fight a boss, and that's kind of what you did. Some of them had branching paths, but that's what you had. Castlevania 2 tried something a little different. So we are Simon here, and we start out in a town. This is a non-linear game, so before you played Symphony of the Night, before you played any of the Game Boy the Game Boy Advance Castlevanias, anything like that, you had Castlevania 2, which was really cool in theory, but the problem with it was that the navigation and figuring out what in the hell you were supposed to do in this game was really difficult. So we're in a town. This place will basically heal you. But I can go walk up and talk to any of these villagers. Very memorable music. Again, I don't think any of these games have bad music in them. Okay, I gotta remember. So I can talk to him. I don't have any money, which in this case is hearts, believe it or not. Usually you think you collect hearts, it's currency. Or that it's, health. No, it's currency. So I need 50 gold, or 50 hearts, essentially, to buy a white crystal. No, we're not going to buy that right now because I don't have any money. But we can go in here. We got another shop. I think this guy might sell a whip, if I recall. You want to buy holy water. I don't remember you having to... Really? You had to buy that? Okay, well, and so I need money for that too, which I don't have. We'll just cancel out of that. So, this game was extremely unclear as to what you were supposed to do. Because, you could just go through and, kill guys and wander around. But if you were going to make progress, you would find these areas where, you had to... There are a couple infamous places. There's a wall. If we went to the left far enough, there was a wall that you thought it was just a dead end, only to find out. Basically, you had to have a certain crystal equipped. I think it was either a red or blue crystal. And you had to crouch in front of that wall for 5-6 seconds, and then this tornado would just magically come and whisk you over the wall. How in the hell is a kid supposed to know that? Not a clue. You people get stuck there. If you went to the right far enough, there was this lake that you had to cross, but then, you know, there's no way to cross it. Turns out you had to have another crystal. I think that maybe that was the blue one because the wall was the red crystal, I think. And yep, see, your typical knock you back Castlevania bullshit. Knock you back into the water. And if you, again, the jumping is really stiff. So he bounced me back. I don't have any holy water. If I die 3 times and continue, I lose any hearts that I have. So you kind of just had to go back and farm. So I could stay in that first area and just keep farming hearts until I got 50, and then I could, you know, keep going. But like this lake, you had to use a crystal, and then you ducked, and then the screen would actually scroll down, and like the lake was fake. But if you tried to do that without it, you would still die. So it was weird shit like that. You know, you had to collect Dracula's body parts, because in the first game he got killed, but then there's a curse, so, you know, you basically had to find all the pieces and, like, destroy them or something or other. But how do you collect them? You go to these temple things, and you gotta find these orbs, and there's like you're supposed to throw an oak stake at it. Again, how in the hell are you supposed to figure that out? The people who you talk to, they wouldn't give you any clues at all. They were just obtuse nonsense that meant nothing. So this was a game where either you had to have Nintendo Power or know a friend. See, I don't have holy water. I can't hit up and B to drop it down on that guy. So I'm just going to have to take the hit and go into the water. See, if I jump back here, I can do that, but then I'm going to get hit by that guy, and then I'm going to get bounced into the water. And there's your continue. I could get a password for where I'm at, or I could continue, but now all my hearts are gone. So it was rather punishing, and I really, really hate that knockback, I gotta tell you. You had a day-night system, which again was unique. Really? Wow. You know, that was a unique thing. So at night, enemies were harder. Yeah, see, I really need holy water. That would be so freaking helpful right now, because I could just drop it on that guy's head and he would get hurt. That purple stuff down there won't kill me, but it'll hurt me a lot. See, so I'm gonna get hurt. So there we go, we got hurt. But like I said, at night, enemies are stronger, take more hits, so I gotta have better weaponry. I mean, there's a lot of cool stuff that this game did, but it just was so... you couldn't decipher what the hell to do, unless you just lucked out or knew somebody or had Nintendo Power, or, you know, called the Nintendo hotline and charged your phone bill up the ass, because it was, I believe it was like a 900 number or something. I remember a friend of mine and I did that one time, like we were at his friend's house, like, oh, he's like, we should call. And we ended up calling, and like we got some tips on this game, and that's where we found out actually how to do the crystal thing. And yeah, you know, they got the bill later, and they weren't too happy with us. So that was when we were little kids. I remember that. So now we got another town, and if you go to a town at night, all the shops are closed, and there's like these zombies. So you can't really do anything in the town during the nighttime. So, you know, there's a lot of complex things that happen in this game. You know, like I said, it was a non-linear game. You could explore the town, you could talk to people. You're trying to collect different items and weapons. Like I said, one of the first things that you definitely need is holy water. If I bring up... yeah, so here's the stat screen. Tells me how many hearts I have, all those black areas down below, as you collect things like your holy water, different Dracula's body parts, you know, they'll show up there. Like one of the ones I remember, you can collect the rib, and which you can hold in front of you and use as a shield, let's say. Who would have thought? So, like I said, this game is weird. Oddly complicated, and radically different than Castlevania 1, 3, and 4. and really didn't, this game wasn't like anything else until basically Symphony of the Night. And then they went and they did that, which I've done I did a spotlight video on Symphony of the Night because that is available via Xbox Live Arcade. Thank you very much. Please come to Switch. Please come to Switch, because I want a portable version of that so bad. I'd buy that in a heartbeat. But, actually what I really want... Okay, they're doing these collections. For the love of God, release all of the Game Boy Advance and DS ones, like Circle of the Moon... Oh, man, and then I fell. Circle of the Moon, was it Harmony of Dissonance, Aria and Dawn of Sorrow were great. And while you're at it, you can go ahead and get rid of those stupid drawing those seals things that was in Dawn of Sorrow. That was a pain in the ass thing that really didn't need to be there. It was just like, hey, we need to use a touchscreen, so let's make some ridiculous mechanic that is... when you fight a boss, you have to finish it off by drawing some weird pattern on the screen, and that was clunky as hell. Not fun. So that's basically Castlevania, it has the same sort of stiff movement, but it was a meatier game. You could wander around and explore. So let's take a look at Castlevania 3, Dracula's Curse, which is where this music comes from. And this was cool because you had different characters you could unlock. There were different paths that you could take. It was linear, but you could choose an upper and a lower path, and depending on what paths you took, you could rescue certain characters. I'm just going to be I don't remember who this is supposed to be, but we're going to be Simon, Simon, because, sure. Could be Victor, could be, I don't remember. So you get your little cutscene here. And this is back to your traditional run forward and whip everything. Complete with your same sort of, you cannot whip up or down or anything like that. It's really stiff movement. Gonna go into the castle. But it's got your catchy music, and again, I think in a way, the graphics kind of like Castlevania 2 had some really cool art, and there's just a lot of this kind of something I liked about the Castlevania 2 artwork better than Castlevania 1 and 3. See, this is a lot easier to see because we got the dark background. This game loves its stairs, its staircases everywhere, and again, you get knocked back, you're screwed. So this game loves to drop you in pits. And it's really, really obnoxious. Yep, knock me back, that's exactly what I want. Yep. No! Okay. We're gonna keep on climbing. Okay, we're gonna... I think... This is another one where, like I said, I owned Castlevania 2. I got it for Christmas one year. But I never owned 1 or 3. I've played them very briefly, and I've basically just seen how hard they are. So, again, I died. I get a whip power-up. I start all the way back here, and I hit that guy because I'm in a hurry. But it's basically the same thing. Movement is really slow. Again, it's slow, it's deliberate, it's... They're fun games, but you have to have a lot of patience to play them well. You gotta know, you gotta memorize, like, you gotta know what is coming, you gotta know, like, how to avoid getting knocked back, because, again, that's the #1 horrible mechanic of this game is, oh yeah, by the way, enemies aren't gonna kill you, the environment sure is gonna. So we'll go up here, I'll try to get a little further, but I won't promise anything, and then we'll get into some other stuff. Any wall chicken? No. I don't remember where those are. Alright, so we got this guy. Okay, we're gonna do some more platforming. Jump up there. Oh, right, okay, we can go down. And we're just gonna jump forward and get hit by that guy. We're gonna jump over that because that'll flip on us. Because it'll... If you land on that, we just... Yeah, see, they'll... Oh, I gotta go up. Okay, well, that's Castlevania 3. I suck. But you get the idea. So, we've got Super Castlevania 4. Again, here's an early Super Nintendo game. You ran forward, you fought enemies, but it was an early showcase of the system. It was really cool. Catchy music again. I'm not going to name myself, I don't care. You got the fog. Kind of a cool intro there. Okay, what is our controls? Okay, so this one's a little bit different. Just figuring out how they're using the Xbox controller. So we start outside the castle, and these games, you know, you weren't in the castle all the time, like the later ones. Like, you were going through forests and graveyards and stuff like that. But look what I can do here. I can whip up, I can whip diagonal, hell, I can go down into the left. I could whip in 8 directions, so that was a lot better. Still a little bit on the clunky side. I mean, it definitely a lot of improvement. The jumps were a little bit stiff still, but it felt way better than the NES games. And now you're going to hear some really catchy music again. Got our whip upgrade. Hey! So catchy. Whipping candles, because of course that's what you're gonna do. And I don't remember what my sub-weapon is. Okay, so this, I had to go in. So again, showing off the power of the Super Nintendo. You know, you get your foreground and background. I had to go around this pit. So we go through that little gate thing, and then we can come back out. We don't have to, I don't think, but we can. This is just a really, really cool game. So we'll jump. Kill the skeleton. Hey! Stupid bat. Hey! So catchy. Okay, kill that thing. Common Castlevania enemy. Give me a skeleton. Hey! There we go. Oh, okay, I gotta go up here first. Fair enough. Oh, the skeleton despawned. Okay. So I think we gotta stay up top. Oh no, yeah, okay. Kill that thing. Again, I can whip up. Huzzah! Who would have thought such a simple thing could make such a difference? And there's a couple other mechanics I want to get to that I want to be able to show. I think it's on this screen here, yeah. So we go up here. Jump, grab that. Kill that guy. Now, what else can you do with your whip? Grappling hook anyone? Ella Bionic Commando. That was pretty cool, little Indiana Jones action with your whip. That was pretty sweet. So, wreck that candle. I'm so used to having to jump, I forget that I can make my whip go different angles. Because it's so rare in a Castlevania you get to do that. Okay, we'll enjoy more of this super catchy music. Of course you're gonna fall. Oh yeah, I forgot about those. Alright, going through some more courtyard area. I remember bits of this level, but I don't remember all of it. Oh yeah, those. I wasn't looking up. Let's try that again. So now I've got my crappy whip again. So I gotta basically get under them. I'm trying to remember, isn't there like a back? Oh, okay, that's my... Okay, right bumper, that's my sub-weapon. I thought there was a... Was there a backdash in here? I thought there was. See if I go forward. Guess I could do that, okay. Need my whip power. This whip sucks right now. There we go. There we go. Again, being able to whip up like that. Boom. Kill that guy. Get that power up. Ah! No. You're gonna come back and you're gonna die. Like that. And then I screw up and do... Oh my god, I'm just doing terrible. Yep. Trying to move fast because I'm, you know, like I said, we're trying to cover all these games so quickly that I want to at least try to get far, and then I, you know, do stupid stuff like that and get hit when I shouldn't. So I think we only got one more life for the continue anyways, so we'll just kind of blaze forward and whatever happens, happens. If I die, which is more than likely possible, I probably will. But we will... There we go, kill that thing. Any wall chicken? I broke open a wall, but there didn't seem to be anything in there. Okay. So we gotta go back up this way. This way, and the hearts in this game, like most other Castlevanias, are not for currency, they are for your sub-weapon abilities. So if I get holy water, if I get crosses, you know, I get whatever. Okay, we go up here. Oh, this part sucks too, because we get to fight randomly enemies that'll knock you back into the pits, so we're just gonna beeline as quickly as possible. Get knocked into that. Okay. And I think our boss is right up here, coming up pretty soon. I think. Ow. Hey. Really? Okay, well, that's Castlevania 4. Again, showing you a little bit more of the power of the Super Nintendo. And then we get a couple Game Boy games. We'll just go into these real fast. These were odd because they were kind of like Castlevania, but they were a little bit different. So, okay, I gotta figure out what my controls are. And these games, from what I recall, are really hard too. I played them... God, where did I... I'm trying to remember where I played this fairly recently. I don't remember if there was another collection on something that had these. But I remember playing these on something within the last 5 years or so. And, I mean, it's Game Boy, you know, the frame rate is really slow. You know, you're probably looking at 15 frames a second if you're lucky, maybe? I don't know. It just seems really slow. But I will say, visually, it's very easy to see because you see the enemies there, you see the background, the foreground, and instead of ladders, you get vines. Because, sure, vines, why not? Ropes. So we'll get that. I'll play through a little bit of this. I probably won't get very far, but climb up that. Music actually isn't bad. Again, even for an 8-bit Game Boy, not bad. Not bad at all. And if you listen to a Game Boy with headphones, believe it or not, they were in stereo. You can tell that right now. But like, you know, the mono speaker of the Game Boy, but if you plugged headphones in, a lot of the Game Boy games actually sounded kind of cool. Remember Super Mario Land had some really catchy music in there. Would you stop it? Okay, you know, you... Bat... Okay, that guy needs to perish. And these bats keep respawning. So, yep, I was going to say I'm nearly dead. And this isn't... Okay, this isn't the first screen. So we'll go a little bit here. We're just gonna... Oh, wow. Yeah, you can just see it framing forward. Yeah, frame rate, not what I would call good. I kind of wish there was an option where you could play it like this originally, but then there'd be an option to be like, hey, you actually want to play this with like even a 30 frames per second? You know, smooth everything out a little bit? I'd be curious to see how something like that would actually play. Because, like I said, it's a little framey, a little slow. But for what it was, you know, I mean, this is all we knew. And it was not, you know, I mean, I would have played this. I wouldn't have known any better. I mean, it's still good, it's just... You know, you gotta get used to, you're playing it on a really, really minimal system spec. Yeah, you stupid rocks. When I die again, we'll quit here. Run. So slow. Alright. That's Castlevania for Game Boy. I'll show you two, because that one I think is a little bit smoother. Konami. Dracula's Revenge. There we go. Yeah, so this one's got a little bit of cutscene to it. Again, for Game Boy. Not bad looking. Nice large text. Crystal Castle. Alright. Well. Oh, we start from the right this time. Oh yeah, this is way... It's still framey, but it's not near as bad. It feels way better. You move a little bit faster. You know, it's still not... Oh, okay, those things fall. Okay, noted. Go away, bat. Okay, we gotta climb our rope again. Come on. Climbing is really slow, and that's gonna become a problem. Because, basically, in a moment, in the next screen or so, we're gonna have to contend with some more obstacles. I played a very brief bit of this before recording, just to see, because I'd never played any of the Castlevania ones for Game Boy. Oh, God. Yeah, the jumping is, again, very stiff, even though it moves a little faster. It's stiff. You gotta time it just right. Kill that guy. Interesting, catchy 8-bit music. Okay, we go through the door. And... jump! I know it's coming up here pretty soon. Oh, that was dumb. I jumped way early. That was really stupid. That was my fault completely. Jump. Grab it. Jump. Jump again. Kill that guy. Yeah, it's really easy to see low vision wise though. Ah, okay, yeah, see, knockback bullcrap. They come out of the water, so they can screw you over. before you make that jump, make sure you... Yep, be very careful, otherwise you're gonna get screwed. And, okay, that's an elevator that I gotta ride on again. We gotta jump. Oh, how did you miss that rope? Alright, well, you know what? That's Castlevania 2. So it runs a little bit better. But essentially, you go a little bit further, there are spike walls that go back and forth, and you're climbing the rope so slowly that it's tough to time. So here's our only Genesis game. Showed you a Super Nintendo one, a couple NES ones, Castlevania Bloodlines. Again, very catchy music. This one we get to play as two different characters. Got kind of two different people that we can play as. We're going to play as our traditional, more of our traditional character here. Some Genesis games sound really good. Like, I'm not a huge fan of their FM synth chip because some of their music sounds just a little bit, I don't know, it just sounds like a weird chainsaw effect or something. It just doesn't sound really all that good. But it kind of works in this game. Like, there are a few titles in the Genesis library that do sound really cool for the chip that they use. So, okay. Now this one, oh god, after playing that Game Boy game, this is so much more fluid. You're back down to being able to only attack forward. You know, I can't whip in any direction, I can't attack in any direction again, so it's kind of a step back from Castlevania 4. But, god, it just moves so much nicer. It's actually fairly so, and I'm just, what am I, would you stop? It just feels good to be moving at a fairly decent clip. Oh, okay, I got some kind of, okay, power-up thing that's like invincibility or something. I have not played much Castlevania Bloodlines. I know that it's really hard. I remember playing the ROM of it back in the day. Yes, I checked out ROMs back in the day. Okay, we got the little eyeball things. We're gonna try to get out of my way. Okay, I'm trying to go down the stairs. Go down the stairs. Almost seems like Castlevania 1, but updated. So, how are they gonna screw me over? Come on, you know you're gonna jump out of the water, knock me back, you know you're gonna. Okay, they're actually nice to me that time. Okay, we're gonna go forward. Up some more stairs. Okay, so far halfway decent. I'm not gonna say good, because I'm still terrible, but we're going. Ah, stupid bats. Just stop it. I hit the attack button. You just gotta like inch forward or something. You can't just run because the whip does not... Like, there's almost a little bit of a delay or something. Okay, where are we? Okay, so we're back at the bats. Would you... Bats, man. Little flying enemies. Especially later on when you get the Medusa heads in these games. The Medusa heads are the worst. Oh, right, this guy. Okay, we got our first boss. Well, I don't know his patterns, so I don't know... Oh, okay, he breathes fire. That sounds... Oh, I'm so... freaking screwed. I'm just gonna rip into him and hope. Kill him! Oh, did I kill him? Hot diggity damn, I actually survived. I actually beat a level in a Castlevania game. Alright. Oh, is that only a sub-boss? Okay. That was only a sub-boss. Very interesting. Skeleton, you need to perish. So I have one more life before I'm gonna have to continue, and if I totally die, then I bet I'm gonna have to start all over per Castlevania, usual frustration. So let's just see where this goes. There's a little jumping. And I have heard about the late game of this. I think I've seen... Actually, it was a Games Done Quick, I believe. It was they did a speed run or something. And the last boss in this is extremely cheap, from what I remember. It's like there's all these little platforms, and like you can't hardly move. Like you'll fall into pits, and he's flying around. And... Okay, yeah. So that was probably not level 2. So if I go continue, what happens? Oh, okay. I guess I do start here. I stand corrected. Okay, well, there you go. Well, if I wanted to, I could save the game. Okay. And then we'll quit. Almost done here. And I said quit. And we have, oh yes, Kid Dracula. What in the hell is this? I don't know anything about it. I don't know if it was out on the NES, if it was Famicom only. Okay. Is this supposed to be like a kid's version of Castlevania? Which is weird in itself. Sure. Okay, you got a sarcophagus thing. Lightning. Little cutscene thing. Oh, and he's gonna break out! Okay. Okay, I can run and shoot. This... How? This... I don't even know what to say. Wow, look at how framey this is. Ouch, I got hit. Oh, quit it. I'm gonna... Oh boy, I don't know if this is a good game, you guys. This is really framey. Like, I can literally almost, like, count the frames as I move forward. It's... Oh yeah, okay, I died. I rushed. Let's give it one more life here, because now I'm semi over the shock at how weird this is. So we kill those dudes. We got the classic... Go up and down the weird chandelier things, or the weird spiky things. Okay, we run under these. As long as I keep moving, I'm fine. And then those guys shoot at us. It's easy to see, I'll give it that. Like, the contrast is good. And I can jump. Okay, you're gonna... Yeah, you... Ow. Okay, yeah, and... Okay, now he doesn't knock you back, he makes you, like he jumps on his foot, like, ow, 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 ow. Oh. Uh-oh. Really? It's not Castlevania-esque music, but it's still catchy in a way. It's something you'd sign in like a cutesy platformer. Like, this game is weird. I have no idea what the hell I'm playing right now. I've never played this before, and it's very, very strange. Alright, third life. We'll, I'm kind of fascinated. But it is kind of bad. That's your cheery music. Kill that guy. The main problem with these is because they're so stiff, but if you rush through them, that's what kills you so fast. Oh, I can shoot up! Okay, wait. Oh, okay, I can shoot through the bricks. That's helpful. That's good to know. Hey, buddy. Eat it. Now I don't have to deal with you at all. Sweet. Okay. Up the ladder. Jump. This music. Kill it. Kill it. Again. Okay, what did I get hit by? Oh, who are you? You need to die. Alright, well, that's definitely enough Kid Dracula. Alright, that is weird. That is really weird. And we're back to our book. We have... So, that is all the games in the collection. I will take you through... Let's just do... I'm just going to start the games. I'm not really going to play much, but we'll just look at the first music and a couple of the Japanese ones. Especially the NES ones, because the Famicom... Or the Genesis and the Super Nintendo one should be the same. But I want to, you know, again... So this should be Castlevania 1, I think. So you should probably hear more... No, this sounds about the same. I know Castlevania 3 is different. That sounds pretty much the same. So let's quit. And I'm assuming this is Castlevania 2. Oh, this is Castlevania 3, okay. Yeah, this definitely sounds a bit different already. Oh yeah, that's way different. Okay, well, yeah. Oh yeah, there's way more sound channels. It sounds kind of cool, actually. I like this. I like the NES version too, but they're both cool in their own way. And I wonder, like, I don't know if the frame rate is different on them. Like, if maybe the Famicom, because it was, I don't remember if this came out on the Famicom disk system or if it was a cartridge. And I don't know if there were any, like, you know, if it was on the disc or if it was, you know, if there were any like performance differences. Since it was slightly different hardware, like, I don't know. But the sound is cool. Oh, those bats. Hate them. It almost seems a little smoother. I don't know if it's just, if it almost seems a little bit like it's a little faster. Like my movement overall, I could be wrong, but like I said, I don't really know between the differences. I haven't done a lot of research to know, oh, the Japanese version of this game is different than this one or whatever. I don't know, so... So there are some differences, and I'm so gonna die here. Yep. Oh yeah, that sounds way different. So there you go. That is the Castlevania collection. Castlevania Anniversary collection. I believe, like I said, all these should be pretty much the same. Because the Game Boy was the same, NES, Super Nintendo was the same. Kid Dracula is so weird. But we can head back. Yeah, they're still playing the... It sounds like they're still playing the Famicom version, even on the North American menu. But then we back out here. Yep. So there you go. Anyway, that is a classic Konami collection. I hope this means that they might think about looking at releasing other old collections. Like, I would love to see an arcade collection. I know the rights would be really hard, but I'd love to see a we had the Capcom beat 'em up collection, but I'd love to see a Konami one because we had tons of those. We had The Simpsons, we had the 2 Turtles games. I would love to see, man, if they did the Turtles ones, even if they could do, God, I would love to see a Turtles collection. You could have the NES version, the original that was a side-scroller. You could have the arcade game, and then the NES version of that. You could have Turtles in Time, the arcade, and especially the Super Nintendo version. Even if it was only a 5-game collection. Well, actually, then you could do the Hyperstone Heist. You could do the Turtles 3, which is a... Yeah, you could do... There's probably a good 70 games in there you could do. God, oh man, I would love to see that. You know, they had, I'm trying to remember what other ones. I think they had like Crime Fighter, the X-Men game. I think that was Konami, yeah. X-Men Arcade. You know, they could do a lot of older stuff because Capcom, or I keep wanting to say Capcom, Konami has really fallen. They've made some of the most classic games in the 8 and 16-bit days, but now they kind of just do pachinko machines and weird stuff like that. Just, oh, we need some money. Let's milk our back catalog, which, you know, again, having these on modern platforms, I'm actually okay with, especially if they do a decent job. But yeah, I mean, I would love to see those Game Boy DS Castlevania collections. I would love to see a follow-up. We really won't speak of Castlevania 64 because it was... Ooh, that game... that is not how you bring Castlevania into 3D. I owned it for a while. I sold it. It was rough. The camera in that was abysmal. Made it really hard to play. That was just a bizarre game in so many ways. And then they did like a... I forget what they called the follow-up, but like 6 months later they released basically like a director's cut version, which I never bothered with. But I don't know, I think they fixed some things or added some things, and that was just wow. But yeah, I mean, if they did a follow-up, they could do Symphony of the Night, the Game Boy and DS Castlevanias. That'd be perfect. But yeah, I might come back and do the Contra ones at some point as well, because they have that anniversary collection out as well. You thought I was bad at Castlevania, I'm probably even worse at Contra, so yeah, we'll see how that goes. But you can pick these up on any modern platform that you have. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. Follow me on Twitter at BGFH79, mixer.com/BGFH, and illegally cited.com. Until next time, we'll chat with you guys in the next video.